Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 91 of Crunch Time. I'm going to be your host for today's episode. I am Tanner Dislin, and as always, I am joined by my dynamic duo, Sam
Yes, sir.
Godsey.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes,
are
sir.
the N326 duo. You might not recognize our voices. We have been gone for a while. We've had a long stretch of some pretty interesting things happening between work schedules and moving. And I don't know if you've
We got
noticed,
the new crib.
we're in a whole new apartment now, so dealing with that, dealing with work schedules. I went on vacation for a bit, so
Yeah.
it's been a long time, but we're back. Episode 91. We are ready to talk about some sports now. I believe the last time we were on here, Sam, we were in the first round of the NBA playoffs,
Yeah.
and Aaron Rodgers was just traded.
Yep.
That's how long it's been, but do not worry. We will catch you up on everything going on. But before we do any of that, we're going to start, as we always do, with winners and losers. Sam, who's your winner?
Yeah. This state, specifically the south side of things, and that is Florida sports team as a whole. Obviously, tonight we have on night of recording, we have the Miami Heat going up as an 8 seed 3-0 on Boston, playing in game 4, trying to close that one out. But it gets even crazier. Florida Panthers are up 3-0 as an 8 seed over 2 seed Carolina. Oh, and the baseball teams are doing awesome as well. Tampa Bay Rays, one of the hottest teams in the MLB right now, 35-14. And then we have Miami Marlins at 24-24, which is a huge improvement of what we've seen the past couple of years with Miami.
Yeah, so it's not been not a bad stretch for Miami, Sam. I also do want to throw another thing in there, not to mention two of the four Final Four teams, Miami and Florida Atlantic, two South Florida teams as well. So
And isn't Brooks Koepka a
Brooks
South
Koepka,
Florida, South Florida
Brooks
resident?
Koepka is a South Florida guy as well.
South Florida runs sports right now.
They are running sports, and even you want to include Tampa in there. You're more than welcome to do so because, as he said, the Tampa Bay Rays is probably the best team in baseball at the moment. But I mean, this Florida Panthers thing is crazy, man. Because last year, the 21-22 Florida Panthers were 58-18. They won the President's Trophy, number 1 seed in the East. Handled business in the first round, but then got swept in the second round, and it just goes to show the curse in all of sports, right? When you have the in hockey, or you're the President's Trophy winner, or if you're in base, there's Brooks Koepka, right?
There we go.
Right as we're talking, Brooks
go.
Koepka is courtside for the Heat Celtics game.
That's awesome.
That was pretty funny, but that curse that when you're the best regular season team in the sport,
you're
probably not going to have luck in the playoffs. The Florida Panthers were vying for the point title last year. Like, they were the best team in the Eastern Conference. Didn't do anything in the playoffs. Now that they're the 8 seed and had to play the team with the most wins in NHL history, one of the best teams in NHL history, the 2022-2023 Boston Bruins, handled business there, and now are looking to sweep Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals to go to the Stanley Cup. So
it's crazy
how sports work, but Florida is on an absolute roll right now. My winner, if you're watching on YouTube, you will know I've got the jersey on. He's my guy, probably my favorite NBA player of all time. Grew up watching him with my Knicks. Rest in peace to the Knicks, by the way. But it is Carmelo Anthony. Congratulations on an awesome career, a career that should have had multiple more years of stats onto it if he didn't get blackmailed from the league for some reason. But that's a whole nother story. Carmelo was so much fun to watch, man, especially as a Knicks fan coming over in 2011. You think it's bad right now, which obviously coming off of the postseason we just did, but the whole thing about the Knicks is that they can never get a star. Before that, it was even worse before Melo came. And when he came in 2011, the trade that sent him, that blockbuster here to New York, the Syracuse guy, the homecoming for Carmelo Anthony, and he was just absolutely awesome for the Knicks. I mean, the moments just on the top of my head. I remember against the Heat, and of course this is the LeBron. This is the big three.
Big
LeBron,
three.
D Wade, and
Yeah,
Chris Bosh. He put a 50 burger on them without taking a single shot in the paint.
of
It
course.
was all jump
That
shots.
sounds like
Yeah,
Carmelo.
it was all mid-range and threes. Dropped 50 on them. Not taking a shot in the paint. The 62-point game in the Garden, of course. Who can forget that? I think it was against the Bobcats. And then, I mean, probably my favorite is when he tried to fight Kevin Garnett
Yeah,
on the floor, and then after the game, actually went and waited outside the Celtics locker
I
room.
remember
Tried
that.
to wait for Kevin Garnett to come out so he can fight him. Then
Yeah,
he got that dog in him. What
you
can you
got that
say?
dog.
But again, he was so much fun to watch and so much needed with the Knicks team, the state of their franchise going into those years of 2011. And I mean, he was the best player on some of the best Knicks teams.
Yeah,
At least in the last decade or two. In 2013, they were the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference and ended up running into the Pacers, which ended their season, but swept the Celtics in the first round. So that's something I'll never forget as well. But Carmelo Anthony, I don't know what else to say. Grew up watching your top 5 Knick of all time. You don't get the respect you deserve. Your number should be retired. You should have been in the league these past few years. But congratulations on a great career, Carmelo Anthony. You are my winner.
yeah. Hawks legend.
Hawks legend.
Thunder legend.
Quality tweet, by the way. I assume you saw the Hawks tweet.
Quality tweet.
Quality tweet.
But I think something that goes very underrated about Carmelo is when he went from the Nuggets to the Knicks, because he changed his entire game. He was like, I don't even know how to describe how he played at the Nuggets, but it wasn't just spot up shooter knockdown. It was just pure athleticism. And then he goes to the Knicks and he is mid-range god on that team. He was always fun to watch. A lot of memories, like you said, you went over a couple, but definitely one of the most disrespected superstars of the past 10, 15 years of the NBA.
Not to mention probably the best Team USA player. I mean, when this dude put on Team USA jersey, he went crazy.
Him with a team, who's better, Team USA Mello or Hoodie Mello?
Oh, jeez. Okay, probably Hoodie Mello. No, there's no better version
Hoodie
of Mello
built
than
Diffie.
Hoodie Mello. Yeah, for sure. But this got me thinking. So I said his number 7 should be retired for the Knicks. I still have hope that they might do it. If you're the Denver Nuggets, do you think about it? Because
I think so.
Because guess what number he wore?
15.
And Nikola Jokic is currently 15. So what do they do? Do you think there's a chance that they wait for Jokic's career to end and then just kind of like do them both at one, like number 15, Anthony/Jokic? Do they give it just to Jokic and not mention Anthony?
That's interesting.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
We will find out, but I mean, you're reigning 2-time, should be 3-time, but reigning 2-time MVP and someone who's now made it to the finals
for the first time ever in Nuggets history.
First time ever in Nuggets history.
Yeah,
I think he has a good chance of getting his number retired over in Denver. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do, having 2 legends with the same number on their team. But now we're gonna take a look at the negative side of things. Sam, who was your loser of this past week or month?
How can it not be D'Angelo Russell of the Los Angeles Lakers?
That's a tough series. That is a tough series, man.
Yeah, and just as a reminder for the people, game 1, he shot 4 for 11, 0 for 3 from 3, and finished with a solid 8 points. No rebounds and 3 assists. Solid outing there. Then game 2, 10 points, 3 for 8 shooting. Got a little better. 1 for 5 from 3. There you go. 3 rebounds, 5 assists. So subtle improvement. And then he shit the bed again in game 3. Had 3 points, 1 for 8, 1 for 6 from 3. 3 boards, 4 assists. And then game 4, Lakers coach was just like over it. He only played 15 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 4 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. So very, very, very tough stretch for D'Angelo Russell in this series, but he's kind of struggled kind of throughout the playoffs. I mean, against the Warriors, he had a game where he went 1 for 10. Just struggled all throughout playoffs. I think he becomes a free agent, so it'll be interesting who wants him. Maybe the Guangdong Tigers, or he can go team up with Dwight Howard in Taiwan. We'll see. But yeah, tough stretch for D'Angelo Russell. It's a pretty obvious loser of the episode here.
I tell you what, I think some college coaches can learn something about recruiting from Dwight Howard, how hard he's going getting these guys to come to
honestly,
Taiwan.
Dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, it has been completely rough. While you were reading those numbers from the Western Conference Finals, I was doing a little math, and if my math is correct, 10-8, 3-4, that adds up to 25.
That's not bad.
25 points through the entire series. LeBron had 21 in the first quarter of Game 4. 21 in the first quarter, 25 through the whole series. Yeah, he was invisible all series long. I think it's safe to say he's going to be booted out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get more
The
into
GM's coming through.
The GM is coming through. We'll get more into into that topic later on, actually.
Yeah.
But just a terrible performance from D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, you can play that again.
I'm gonna stay in the NBA actually, and another one of those moments where you're like, what are you doing? Because in game 2? I think it was game 2.
Yeah.
Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics were up 9.
Or was it game 3? I don't know.
I think it was game 2 because game 3 is when it was in the Celtics just kind of rolled over.
Yep. You're right.
Game 2, the Celtics were up 9 in the third quarter, I believe, and it looked like the Celtics had control. They had been leading all game, and then Grant Williams hits a 3 in the third quarter, and immediately after hitting it, Jimmy Butler was the closest defender. He went right up to Jimmy Butler and just started talking shit all the way down the court the entire time. And you saw Jimmy's face. He was chirping, and Jimmy just gave him that smile. And then from that moment on, the heat went on. I don't remember. It was.
I think Jimmy had like 20 points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? It's crazy.
From that moment, the Heat outscored the Celtics like it was. I don't even know the numbers, but they outscored them by a ton, completely flipping that game on its head, dominating the Celtics the rest of the third quarter, taking the lead, and then winning, holding on to the lead in the fourth quarter. So the common discourse is if Grant Williams didn't poke the bear for a random 3 in the third quarter, then the game 3 might have gone a little differently.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, game 2 might have gone a little differently, which means game 3 might have gone a little differently, and we're in a whole other scenario. So it seems like Grant Williams decided he was gonna poke the bear, and that was not a good decision at all.
Yeah, that's tough.
Not much to say, but we are going to continue on the topic of the NBA. Now, it has been a long time since we obviously since we've been on here, so we have not covered the NBA in a minute. Do you remember, Sam, last episode, was the first round done?
No.
First round wasn't even done.
I think one series was. I don't remember which one, but.
All right. This is going to be the NBA playoffs in 60 seconds. All right, ready? Series 1 versus 8, Nuggets, Timberwolves. Not much to talk about.
Yep.
Nuggets handle business.
Yep.
Series 2, Suns, Clippers.
Not much.
Well, you can say, will the Clippers ever be healthy?
No.
The answer is no. Series 3, Kings, Warriors.
Sneaky good. Not a lot of people expect it, but Warriors end up getting the dub.
Best series in the first round, right?
By far.
Best series in the first round. Steph Curry, 52 in Game 7, something like that. Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Then Series 4, Lakers, Grizzlies.
It wasn't a parade inside his city.
It was not a parade inside his city, no. and the Grizzlies, I mean, it was a gentleman's sweep 4-1, I think.
So,
yeah, it was not very good. Going over the Eastern Conference side of things, Bucks, Heat. Interesting stuff. I mean, Giannis did get hurt, but I think he only missed one game.
Yeah.
And the Heat gentlemen swept the Bucks, but don't worry, According to Giannis, it was not a failure, so
It's
no
not a
need to
failure.
worry.
It's not a failure.
Next series, Cavs Knicks.
Nah.
Donovan Mitchell. Don't you wish you'd come to the Knicks? But yeah, I mean, it
And
just
that's where the fun ends.
yeah, pretty much. But I mean, it just seemed like the Cavs big men just didn't have any presence in the game. Donovan Mitchell needed some sort of help somewhere and never got it. So, and then Jalen Brunson is that guy. 76ers Nets, only sweep of the first round. Easy. And then Celtics Hawks. Sneaky good series. Win 6. And I believe the Hawks had the ball, the chance to tie in Game 6 to send it to a Game 7.
I believe you're right.
But yeah, so that's the first round. Don't worry, we'll get the second round too. Nuggets Suns. Was it a sweep? I can't remember.
I'm trying to.
Might have been a gentleman's. It was not a close series at all.
Yeah.
Lakers Warriors.
Good series as it always is, but
I mean, Clay didn't show up.
Yeah. Jordan Poole forgot how to play basketball.
Jordan Poole forgot how to play basketball. It's almost like this entire season. Maybe Draymond Green needs to punch him again. I don't really know, but it's just
Anthony Davis finally woke up.
Steph needed some help, and AD was awesome.
Yeah.
Heat Knicks. I mean, Jimmy Butler's just that guy.
Yeah, he's so good.
Sprained ankle, didn't matter. Two sides on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, and Heat culture is truly something when you have your guys like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus and Cody Martin, and they're just
Caleb Martin.
Put
some respect on his name.
Do you know who Cody Martin is?
Who is it?
I think it's The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I think it's their last name.
I think it's right.
Oh no! Unless he has a twin brother.
He does have a.
If his twin brother name is Cody, that counts. But Caleb Martin, you're right. And then Kyle Lowry just being a pest. So
yeah,
that is
as he do.
That is right, as he do.
Cody Martin.
Okay. I think it also is Zach and Cody.
I think it is.
I think it is. But
hey, it happens.
And then the last series in the Eastern Conference, 76ers Celtics, Game 7.
Yeah.
Awesome series. I think in that game, what was it? Tatum broke the record set by Steph Curry.
Yeah.
The previous round
he went freaking crazy.
Points in Game 7.
Yeah. And then Joel Embiid and James Harden forgot how to play basketball in that series.
In the late part of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Joel Embiid had the highest drop-off in points per game by an MVP by the last 9 MVPs.
Yeah, that was
MVPs
crazy.
Combined.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, it's not a good look for the supposed MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaves us to the West to the conference finals. We'll start in the West because if you followed our high-level breakdown there, we had the Nuggets and the Lakers, which I mean the story of it's a classic story, right? One team's been the better team all year, the best team in the West. One team is the bigger market, the bigger names, the bigger storylines. And this series was not close.
No, it wasn't. I mean, the storyline behind the Nuggets these past 4 or 5 years is if they stay healthy, they are going to be one of the best teams. And with Jokic running things, I mean, just in Game 4 alone, you can talk about this whole series. He passed Wilt Chamberlain for most triple-doubles in one season with 8. He joined Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in NBA history to average a triple-double in back-to-back playoff series. And he was named the Western Conference Finals MVP. And he helped the Nuggets obviously sweep the Lakers and led them to their first ever finals appearance.
That's pretty good. I'm trying to find the tweet. There's a tweet that had listed out his playoff performances.
But yeah,
and I'm trying to find it because I mean it truly is something to see when you see all the games listed out. the way it was. But I mean, just triple double after triple double,
Yeah.
efficiency after efficient. Like there's just nothing you can say
Yeah.
other than the numbers speak for themselves. He
Mhm.
gets every rebound on the floor. He makes all of his teams better, or all of his teammates better,
Yeah.
and he scores the basketball with remarkable efficiency. I mean, I think he might be the best player. If my life was on the line, I needed someone to shoot a step back three as the shot clock expired. You know I'm picking Nikola Jokic. He's
Yeah.
like 4 for 4 on those in
Uh-huh.
this series. I'm not sure he hit rim once on those shots.
No.
I mean,
Over 80 to 90%
yeah,
of them.
right. And
Yeah.
AD multiple times just stopped and laughed. Like
Yeah.
there's just nothing I can do here. Jamal Murray was really good. You
Yeah.
talked about staying healthy. He's kind of been the main culprit of
Mhm.
not staying healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, when he does, it's
I mean,
casuals expose themselves because real people know how damn good
yeah.
Jamal Murray
I
is
mean,
at basketball.
game 2, he had 23 points in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, like
It's
Jamal Murray's an absolute baller, and I've seen a lot of people. I saw a Lakers fan was reacting and was like, "I thought we played Steph Curry last round. Like, what the?
yeah.
Who is this guy?" And it's like, well, okay,
Yeah.
no Jamal Murray. That's but
Tell me you don't watch
yeah,
NBA
exactly.
without
Jamal
Tony.
Murray. Jamal Murray was awesome. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is like a perfect fit there. Lanky shooter, can get up and down the floor, can put it on the deck too. Just
Yeah.
an all-around, incredibly well-built team, and I mean the best team all season, and they
Yeah.
absolutely showed it. They looked on another level compared to the Lakers because, just because
Yeah.
they were toying with them constantly.
Yeah.
But
And
go ahead.
yeah, I mean, on the flip side of things, we saw, I already mentioned D'Angelo Russell struggling tremendously. AD wasn't his usual self. But let's talk about this game for LeBron. 40 points in his 20th season. He became that actually made him the oldest player in NBA history to record 40 points in a playoff game. So just want to show love to LeBron for that. We were watching it last night. The way he was scoring in the first quarter, I really thought he was going for MJ 63, I want to say. But yeah, it was a great game by LeBron, just had zero help on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes, right? That's how the story of his career, and that's why he decided to do what he did, and that's of course what he gets criticized for. But I mean, this leaves a very interesting offseason for the Lakers, as it always has been under the LeBron era, because they've just been so win now that I mean people are expendable. Like some of these trades, like bringing D'Lo back, trading for Russell Westbrook, like all just win now desperate moves. But you kind of have a crowded rotation in LA,
Yeah.
and potentially a point guard spot open if you decide to move on from D'Angelo Russell. Of course, you got your two main guys, but then you've got the people you traded for, like you got your Jared Vanderbilt and your
Yeah.
what was it, Malik Beasley,
Yeah, I want to say.
or
Was Lonnie Walker
Lonnie
a trade?
Walker. Lonnie Walker was either, I think he might have been in the offseason actually, but still someone playing rotation minutes. The emergence of Austin Reeves
Yes, sir.
as a
Arkansas
real,
repping, baby. Let's go.
there you go, as a real scoring option for this team.
Yeah.
Trading for Rui Hachimura, who
Solid piece.
I mean, he looked the best he's ever looked in his NBA career as a Laker. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to want to keep him. So it's very crowded right now for LA, and a lot of decisions to make. And they were very active at the deadline. So which of those were rentals? Which of those will be pieces they'll bring back? It's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
But it all doesn't matter if someone isn't there. Now, Sam,
Exactly.
surely you saw what LeBron said after the game, right? Do you happen to have it with you?
I don't. Let me pull it up real quick.
While we looked that up, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. I mean, he said some cryptic stuff about his future in the NBA. I mean, he said that he wants to play with Bronny, and I mean, I don't blame him. And that's always been his stance, and he's never wavered from it. So that's when everyone expects him to retire, play 1 year with Bronny, and then he'll get out. But after losing to the Nuggets in a sweep, he said,
I got a lot to think about. Just me personally going forward with the game of basketball. A lot for me to think about.
yeah, I mean, he's never said anything like that before. As Jason Tatum two-hand pushes someone in the back. Watch this. Max Strus, get out of here. Interesting.
Clean.
clean. And of course, then he looks up like, what did I do?
I know foul.
That ain't no foul.
But
But yeah, so he's never said anything like that
weird.
before. It's weird. It's weird. He's never wavered from his playing with his son, and he's never said anything like that before.
Watching him last night is like he's still one of the best players in this league, even at what at 38, I think. Age 38, doing what he does. It'll be interesting. I think it was just kind of imagine LeBron not in this league anymore. There's no way he retires after that getting swept. No way LeBron just hangs it up after that. But I'm interested. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an option on the table. Is could LeBron, maybe be like Mike in that he just takes the year off.
Yeah.
Takes the year off and then comes back. But if he does that, then he's owed. He signed an extension with the Lakers. If he does that, he's got to play for the Lakers, and that's a year that he could have had off the contract if he did play. So, not quite sure what he was doing, but also, I mean, what he meant by that. But also, it's LeBron, so maybe he just wanted to send a message that, like, hey, idiots, I'm not going to be here forever. Can we build a team, please?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to retire soon. So who knows what LeBron meant, but that was very cryptic. And, yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I wish I knew more why he said that. But
yeah.
Just be on the lookout for that because God knows some crazy's probably going to go down with Bron or the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the Lakers will be all over the headlines.
Dame to LA.
Nah, man, he's committed to winning in Portland.
Okay.
Yeah. Him and Bradley Beal are gonna be.
There you go.
They're gonna be in their wheelchairs playing for Portland and Washington.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's head over to the Eastern Conference, shall we?
Yeah.
Right now we are at halftime in Game 4. The Heat are leading the Celtics 56-50. They're also winning the series 3-0, as we covered in our winners and losers segment. Sam, what has been going on? Because I think before this, you could have gotten the Heat to win the series at a pretty nice price.
Yeah, absolutely. The Heat are playing out of their minds, obviously led by Mr. Jimmy Butler. Just playing out of this world all series. He takes his game to another level in this playoffs. We've seen it in the first and the second round. We're seeing it again in these Eastern Conference Finals. But as good as Jimmy Butler has been playing, his supporting cast is the best in the NBA. I'll go ahead and say it.
Hot take.
We have Bam Adebayo, who's one of the most underrated big men. You have crazy Duncan Robinson and entered the Miami Heat record books for becoming the Heat's all-time leader in playoff threes.
Wow.
Yeah. we got Caleb freaking Martin in game 1, 15 points, then 25 points and 18 points. What does he have? Right now at half, he has 14. We have Gabe Vincent with 11 coming off the bench. K-Love putting in that work. Max Strus, obviously. All these guys are contributing. And, of course, Mr. Dump Truck himself, Kyle Lowry, putting in that work as well. just people really overlook this team. And I'll be the first to admit I was definitely one of those people. Yeah, if you would have told me Gabe Vincent and Max Struess and Caleb Martin would be vital pieces to this deep Miami Heat run at the beginning of the playoffs, I thought you were insane, especially beating Giannis, one of the best NBA players right now. Just beating the teams they have, Jalen Brunson, who was hot coming into that series, taking care of business against one of the best duos in the NBA, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. It's just, it's honestly confusing why this team is performing so well. It comes down to if you can get a team to play together, anything can happen. I think Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA right now. I think he is madly underrated as a coach, and we are seeing him flourish with the Heat in this postseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's really aggravating. I can tell you that because, it's just one of those things where Julius Randle was second team All NBA. He was an All Star, and he's shooting, three for 12, while Gabe Vincent is shooting 5 for 8, while Caleb Martin is shooting 5 for 8. Like, it's just really like, no way are these players better than Julius
Yeah,
Randle. But this
exactly.
is where we are. This is where we are right now, and I think you're 100% correct. I will revise the statement. Eric Spoelstra is not one of the best NBA coaches. He is the best NBA coach right now. What he has been able to do with this Heat team, a group of, you just mentioned it, like a group of unselfish players who don't really care about their egos, don't really care about their status, don't really care about their stats. All they care about is winning a damn basketball game, and that's something that they have done a lot of recently. And going back to what I said about the Florida Panthers, the Miami Heat last year were the 1 seed in the East,
Yeah.
right? And then we're one shot away against this Celtics team,
Yeah.
In Game 7 from going to the NBA Finals. Jimmy Butler missed that shot, of course, and the Celtics went on. So there was a lot of people that were very high on this Heat team this year, and rightfully so. You just get everybody back from a year ago, and they just never clicked. It never clicked. And this is the same Heat team, by the way, that lost to the Hawks in the play-in,
exactly,
and barely beat the Bulls in the play-in.
That's crazy.
And now they have beaten the Bucks. They beat the Knicks, who, by the way, won more games than the Bucks in their series.
Yeah.
And and right now are one half of basketball away from putting up the most wins in any series against the Heat this year, right? It's absolutely crazy what this Heat team is able to do. And just a testament to team building, a testament to coaching, and of course, a testament to, I believe in the words of Kevin Harlan, Jimmy frickin' Butler.
Yes, sir.
Because he can play basketball.
Yeah. I think with the playoffs coming around every year, you get this notion of you need a bench. You need to be a deep team. And this Miami Heat is the epitome of a deep team. Good bench players. They know their roles. They do their roles well. And they have that superstar where they can go to in a close game. And he is one of the best at what he does. But this Miami Heat has been very fun to watch all postseason. And I hope it continues.
Hey, Sam, they've been fun to watch for 2 out of 3 series. One series I did not have fun watching them.
I enjoyed it. That was probably my favorite series that he played in, actually.
Rude. Not very nice of you. But we did this for the last series, so we're going to do it again for this series. Like we said, the Heat are up 6 at halftime. We are one half away from this being a sweep. Now, of course, there's still a possibility Celtics win, and then they come all the way back and win Game 7. That is a possibility. Yep. But as it looks right now, things stand the way they are. The Celtics are getting swept by the Miami Heat a year after losing in the NBA Finals. And this core that they've had that has been good for a while, but hasn't quite gotten over the hump. We did it for the Lakers. So what's next for the Celtics? what needs to change? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
They're in a very difficult position. I think in a more difficult position than the Lakers. One of their biggest problem is their two best players play the same position, so that's kind of tough. I know Brown. I think he's normally the two, but I think you ride with him. I just think you need a better coach. Missoula is trash.
Joe
He's
Mazzulla's having a
so
rough go of it.
bad.
Yeah, he's getting
Bring back
absolutely
Brad
torched.
Stevens, man.
That's an option. That's an
But
option.
I think that's where you put your main, your main concern. But I don't know. This is a very
it's
because
tough.
they're solid. They're really good. But when you get, let's be honest, the Celtics are a better team.
Yeah, I think they are
More
I
skilled.
think they are too. And I honestly think they were the better team in last year's finals. When you just
Yeah.
look at the all-around team, I thought the Celtics were the better team.
Yeah,
Warriors just had Steph Curry.
this is true.
So, yeah, but I don't know. That's why I asked you, because
Yeah.
I don't know the answer myself. Something does seem off about the Tatum Brown relationship.
Yeah.
Is that's not just me, right?
No.
You feel that too, where it's not like it's not like they hate each other, that they're constantly fighting, but I don't know, just something seems off. The similar position probably has something to do with it. And I think on this podcast we had talked about, because last year they started off terrible before turning it on and going to the finals. And I think we had this conversation of, can it be Tatum and Brown on the same team?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly something to think about.
Yeah. It is interesting. I think you just, because I swear every other close game they go to a different guy. And I think you got to establish who's your go-to guy when the game's on the line. I get Jaylen Brown might be hot this game. Jason Tatum might be hot. I think it's just so many weird dynamics within that group. I think they have a good core. I mean, they got Marcus Smart. I think he is Defensive Player of the Year last year. Robert Williams, if he can stay healthy.
That's a big one, too.
Of course, Average Out, the GOAT, Thunder legend. And then Malcolm Brogdon was a big pickup in the offseason. But just a lot of solid pieces.
Was he 6-foot man of the year?
I
think he was.
Yeah. But just something isn't clicking within this team, and we say that as they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. But it seems to get over that hump, they need something to click, and I gotta look at Missoula right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. That's something I had forgotten about, where I feel like you just gotta have to run things back with the current roster, but with some coaching changes. Yeah, he's kind of been over his head right now, and I mean, it really makes you appreciate someone like Brad Stevens or even Ime Udoka last year, who did some good things. And of course now he's over in Houston.
Yeah,
I don't even really want to, just a weird situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they should have just given him a bonk and then let him continue to coach. Just give him a quick little bonk. But yeah, so like we said, we are 1 half away from the Celtics being swept, just like their common NBA counterpart, the Los Angeles Lakers. That's going to kind of wrap it up for our NBA talk for the episode. We might not have much to talk about next episode because, we pretty much covered the first half of this game.
Yeah.
If things continue the way they are, as we said, Heat will sweep the Celtics. We will have half a game of basketball to talk about. And if both conference finals end in a sweep, each team will have a week plus. Is it 9 and 8 or 8 and 7?
9 and 8.
A week, yeah. So the Nuggets will have 9 days off because they've already swept. If the Heat win, they will have 8 days off. So
that's so stupid.
Yeah. Next week we will not be talking about basketball. I can tell you that. But we're going to move on to another important, I guess I'll just say important tournament going on in
Yeah.
sports. This weekend was the PGA Championship. So we thought it'd be a perfect time to give basketball a rest. Maybe we'll save some hockey for next week, save some baseball for next week, and we'll talk about golf and go on the green with Godsey. Sam, talk to me here. What happened in the PGA Championship?
Just like every other sport, a guy from South Florida won.
Yes.
Brooks Koepka, live guy, who was in the running for the Masters a month or two
Came in
ago.
second.
Came in
Choked.
second, choked. Let's put it how it is.
Thanks, Hank.
We gave him a lot of shit on our Masters recap, which was 2 episodes ago.
Oh my gosh. That was Easter weekend, by the way.
But he finally got done here. Is it safe to say he's back? I mean,
Got
5th
to.
major,
Surely.
3rd PGA championship, won with a -9, and he looked good doing it. It's finally good to see a guy like this pull out a win. Obviously, I mentioned the Masters loss in heartbreaking fashion, and obviously the injuries he's endured over his career. But Brooks Koepka came home with the PGA Championship, was drinking out of that trophy. Shout out PMT for showing that. But another big storyline surrounding the PGA Championship was the club pro Michael Block played extremely well. He had a hole-in-one on the 15th, qualified for the 2024 PGA Championship. It was the first hole-in-one by a club pro at the PGA since '96. Best 36 and 54 hole position by a club pro since '88, and best finish by a club pro at PGA since '86. So a lot of anomalies coming from Michael Block. So that was pretty cool to see. But Brooks Koepka finally got over that hump that he struggled with kind of all his career. Hate to say it, but it's true. But yeah, Brooks Koepka walking away with the PGA Championship here.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'll be the first to say I haven't really followed golf much in my life, and really I've started mainly because of Full Swing, the golf documentary we watched, and as a lot of people have watched, and Full Swing definitely covered Brooks Koepka's struggles in his career, and kind of got him at rock bottom after he didn't make the cut in I don't remember what tournament it was, but he didn't make the cut. And it was a really tough time for him, and he decided to go play for the Live Tour, and I think you're 100% safe to say he's back. I just thought that he was just washed because again, all I had to go off of was Full Swing, but evidently he is not washed. He's fully back. Two tournaments in a row, looked pretty damn good, coming in second, and of course winning this PGA Championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, do you know when the next tournament is?
I can give for you right here.
All right, our golf guy is on the case.
Yep,
as you can see, for those of you watching on YouTube,
I know
these are Sam's right here, golf guy.
I know. Liv has a tournament this weekend.
Yeah,
Brooks was like, "I'm gonna struggle in that one." But the next PGA will be the Charles Schwab Challenge, May 25th through the 28th. So this week, at the Colonial Golf Club. So stay tuned for that.
And we have a principal tournament coming up soon, right? Here in Des Moines. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, lots of golf to be watched, lots of golf to be played, hopefully. For us in the near future. That's going to wrap it up for On the Green. Thanks, Sam, for recapping the weekend of golf. And it was pretty bad weather too, wasn't it? Sorry to go back, but I think I saw some clips of it being windy, rainy.
It wasn't great
cold,
golfing conditions.
Even add that to Koepka's resume is that he's in crappy conditions. But before we wrap up the episode, Sam, we have a few questions.
Oh,
We're going to start a question from Matt Nielsen, a great question because, well, with the departure of Aaron Rodgers, things look a little bit bleak. Yeah, the bad man. He who shall not be named. Things look a little bit bleak in the NFC in terms of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So Matt wants to know, who are your top 5 QBs in the NFC?
Yeah, this is interesting, especially with all the moving parts in this division. We got Derek Carr in New Orleans. We have Baker in Tampa. We have newcomer Bryce Young in Carolina. A lot of moving. Sam Howell in Washington. A lot of moving parts. A lot of new faces that don't have a ton of experience. But for my top 5, it's gonna be a little controversial. But number 1, gotta be Jalen Hurts. I mean, I think he has proven himself to be the best quarterback in the NFC, and I think there's a pretty wide gap between him and the rest of the NFC. Number 2 is going to be a little controversial due to his last year, but I got Matt Stafford. I think he has proven himself over and over again. When healthy, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I got him at number 2. Number 3, got to show love to my Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott. Don't have much else to say there. Then number 4, I have Jared Goff. I think he finally took that next step in that Lions offense. I like what he did last year. I'm expecting the same thing coming from him. And then 5, Justin Fields.
Oh my God.
Justin Fields. Screw Kirko Chains. I like Justin Fields. I like what he did last year. Finally getting some more weapons around him. I like what he does on his feet with his arm. It'll be interesting to see what he does this year. Seeing all the new weapons he acquired. But yeah, I got Justin Fields at 5.
Woo! All righty. Can't say I expected that. I tell you what, though, we agree on the first 2. So I also have Jalen Hurts as the best quarterback in the NFC. Yeah, he just is. The threat he is with his legs, the advances he took in the passing game are just, yeah. Not much more I can add there. Again, Matt Stafford, little, like you said, a little controversial after his last year, but last time we saw him healthy, he was winning the Super Bowl, and he was making no-look passes in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So I'm not ready to give up on him yet. However, his team is going to be really bad, so he might have a tough season ahead of him. But yeah, I still think that given the right situation and right health, he's the second best quarterback in the NFC. Now, number 3 is a name that you actually didn't mention, and didn't mention at all. Like, not even who you said, screw you to. Someone who I believe in. I still think he's a damn good quarterback. He does need to get some stuff figured out. Sorry, just Derek Jeter makes me so mad. I hate that guy. Anyway, but number 3, he does need to get some things figured out. But I think if you get him in the right scenario with a team that can compete, with a head coach that knows what he's doing, he'll show you just how talented he is. Do you know who this is?
Who is it?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
I will take him as the 3rd best NFC quarterback. I think we're really he deserves to be made fun of for his, video game addiction and how he handles himself off the field. But I think we can't undersell how bad Cliff Kingsbury was at his job.
Yeah.
How not talented, how devoid of talent some of their rosters have been. So I still believe in Kyler Murray. I think he's the 3rd best QB in the NFC. Number 4, I'm going with my guy. Give me Kirko Chains. He's just continues to be polarizing for some reason. People can't have a level head about him that he's good, not great, and he can do a lot of good things, but he's not gonna be the greatest and go out and win you football games. But he will
throw it past the chains. on fourth down.
That he won't do either. That he won't do either. Yeah, but the dude is very talented at football. Dude is talented at football. And number 5, I'm gonna go with someone who I mean, just last year I would have put him in probably my bottom 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, but he completely turned his season around. Looked awesome last year, and I think you know who this is. It's going to be Jared Goff.
Yeah.
There's a real argument if you want to put Jared Goff instead of Kirk Cousins. I probably wouldn't get too mad at you, right? And I mean, there's a real chance that Jared Goff is the best quarterback in the NFC North. Personally, I would still take Kirk Cousins, but Jared Goff has really emerged himself as a damn good quarterback, and I think Detroit Lions' plans changed because of last year.
Yeah.
I really think they were going to go into this offseason looking for a QB, but the way he played, they're going to stick with Goff.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my top 5. So we got a little differentiation in ours, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Each showing love for our guys. That's good.
Of
That's
course.
confidence. You got to, right? Of course. But the last question, this one from Peyton White. He asks, "What are our biggest offseason NBA predictions?"
Yeah, this one is interesting. A lot of moving parts, obviously, with LeBron and his cryptic ass message. So obviously that's kind of the biggest storyline going into this offseason. But my biggest prediction is I think the Trailblazers are going to trade their 3rd overall pick and finally get Damian Lillard some damn help and give him a superstar to work by his side and improve that roster.
Do you have anybody off the top of your head who would be a good fit?
LeBron?
Okay. Yeah. LeBron's going to Portland, Oregon, everybody.
I don't know. Maybe we see Dame traded. So the Trailblazers are going to make an offseason move, and I think it's either going to be bringing in some talent to help Dame or shipping off Dame, one of those two.
I see. Well, yeah. Chauncey Billups going to have his work cut out for him next year. I always forget that Chauncey Billups is the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah. But, yeah, that's a good one. I tell you what, there are some things that I'm looking at in free agency and think will happen. I mean, I think the most obvious one is one that, I mean, Kyrie Irving's a Laker, right?
Yeah.
He's a Laker.
He's
a Laker. And if he didn't piss off the Brooklyn Nets, he'd already be a Laker.
Yeah.
It just so happened that he pissed off the Brooklyn Nets. Exactly. So they did not give him what he wants. But yes, Kyrie Irving is a Laker. LeBron will make it so. Kyrie wants to be there. Yeah, that's just going to happen. My other one, though, that I think is not as, certainly a little bit toastier, and one that I think really can happen and frankly should happen for both these parties. I think the Phoenix Suns will change point guards and they will move on from Chris Paul. And do you know who they will get?
They already have campaigns. So
they do have campaigns. I think they will bring in James Harden to play point guard. This kind of makes sense, right? Why did James Harden want out of Brooklyn? He didn't want to play with Kyrie anymore. And why did he want to go to Brooklyn? Because he wanted to play with them. So naturally, if you want to play with KD and Kyrie, one of them ends up pissing you off. You might still want to play with the other one. And I mean, Devin Booker had an awesome postseason this year, absolutely awesome postseason. So I think he might look to Phoenix to make the next move, be back with KD, a duo that was successful when they played together. Those 13 games they played together, and then and then add in Devin Booker and have a elite scoring trio. And I mean, James Harden, he's really turned himself into one of the best passers in the NBA, along with Chris Paul as well. So he can be another guy. We're similar to Chris Paul, where he's just a walking double-double, points and assists all day long, which kind of he was in Philly, and he can do that in Phoenix. I think that would be a great spot for him. Yeah. And if Kyrie goes to the Lakers, that would be in the Pacific. The Lakers and the Suns would match up a lot. So
that'd
I think
be crazy.
Yeah, it would. And KD and James Harden are kind of known for jumping to super teams. So I think this is a real good fit. It should happen. If I mean, I think it would be a mutually beneficial partnership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 91,
Let's
man. It was
go.
so good to be back.
Absolutely.
Been way too long. So glad to be back on the mic talking about what's going on in the sports world. But we talked about NBA, a lot of stuff going on. We gave our NBA playoffs in 60 to 120 seconds.
Yep.
And the possibility of 2 sweeps. But as we've been talking, Boston has now opened up a 7-point lead over Miami in the third quarter. So we'll see if Boston can hold on and force a game 5. We went on the green with Godsey talking about the PGA Championship, and of course, we answered a few questions. Let us know, who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC. What do you think is going to happen in the NBA offseason? What are your predictions? Who are your winners and losers? What should the Lakers do? Who's going to win the finals? Presumably a Nuggets Heat finals. Who do you guys have winning that? Please let us know. We always want to hear from you. But you can follow Sam at
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at SamGodsey29 and then Instagram Sam_Godsey21.
and you can follow me at TDislin22. You can follow the podcast at crunchtime_pod on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Be sure to keep your eyes out on the socials. That's how you're going to communicate with us. We always ask for questions. The questions we answer at the end of the episode. We're always asking the day of recording. If you guys have any questions, certainly feel free to let us know there. And like I said, let us know what you're feeling about all these questions we're answering, about how things are going in the NBA and what teams should do going into the offseason. But the clock has run out on this episode, and we'll see you in the next one on Crunch Time.
Yar.